Good afternoon. I would like to welcome you to the January 9th board meeting and ask that you join in a moment of silence. Thank you. And now would you please rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now Director Mills will read our mission statement.
The Waterloo Schools will set the standard for urban education by ensuring that every student is given the comprehensive support and diverse experiences needed to graduate with a diploma and a plan.
Thank you, Director Mills. The next item on our agenda is information from individuals and delegations. This is the opportunity where those who wish to address the school board may do so. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Mrs. Arndorfer will hold up a yellow sign when you have 30 seconds remaining and a red card when your time has expired. At that time, I will ask you to conclude your public remarks. Please also keep your comments respectful and constructive. We're all here with the goal of trying to help our students. Please also avoid criticizing the job performance of specific employees of the school district. Personnel matters are confidential and must be handled through proper channels and not in a public forum. Finally, we provide this as an opportunity for public comments, but it is generally not a back and forth discussion, especially with items that are not on our agenda. At times, we'll try to help with information before or after the meeting, but we must proceed with our board meeting agenda items. With that being said, I would like to invite anyone who wishes to address the board this evening to come up to the microphone, start by stating your name and address, and make sure the green light is on.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Tracy Richmond. I'm here before you as the Chief Negotiator for the Waterloo Education Association, representing the teaching professionals of Waterloo schools. As we approach the beginning of bargaining, please consider that the most critical factor in a student's academic success is the quality of the teacher at the front of their classroom. Attracting and retaining high-quality professionals takes a concerted effort and a focus on providing a good working environment. Our working environment is a student's learning environment. Inevitably, people will focus their discussions on the wage increase we are proposing, and perhaps rightfully so. But educators nationwide have continued to get salaries that have not followed the consumer price index for decades. Every time a teacher's salary does not keep up with inflation, that teacher's lifetime earnings are affected. Those dollars are never added to a teacher's future earnings to make up for down years. In other words, the salary is affected every year of the teacher's career, making their lifetime earnings less, compounding the problem year after year. We understand that schools are underfunded. A recent analysis of the situation by the ranking member of the House Education Committee at the State House said that it would take over a 14% increase in SSA just to get our schools back to the level they were in 2017, just before the loss of many of our bargaining rights and the immediate gutting of our own 54-page contract right here in Waterloo in 2017. When we enter into contract negotiations, please consider that our master contract is only 4 pages long now and stripped of essential bargaining topics. By contrast, Muscatine, Davenport, Sioux City, Des Moines, and Ottumwa include 40 to 54 pages of topics regarding the conditions under which their employees work. As you can see, many school boards continue to respect their employees with clearly defined topics under which we all work. I urge you all to stay informed throughout this negotiations process and praised of the contract you will be approving when the process is completed. Permissive topics of bargaining include health and safety, grievance procedures, and seniority, to name just a few of the topics of bargaining we will be proposing next Tuesday. By not having some of the items that have been removed from our contract written down, it leaves so many situations open to interpretation. And although we appreciate the hard work and effort shown by the district in working with us, it becomes problematic when new administrations follow prior ones with little written down on the way of contracts and handbooks. The district has used past practice in many instances, but we may not always have access to that institutional memory. We owe it to the people that follow us to leave them with working solutions that are written down and known by all parties. A strong master contract brings workplace stability by establishing clear and binding expectations, procedures, and rules. It also becomes a competitive advantage when retaining good employees and attracting new ones. A robust and healthy work environment is a strong and healthy student learning environment. Please work with us as we seek to rebuild our master contract and employee handbook. Let's keep Waterloo Schools at the top of that Forbes list by making Waterloo a great place to work. I'd like to take just a couple of minutes and introduce our team to you all. If they could just stand in the room.
Mr. Richmond,
Yes.
we're on there. I believe we have an update from the WA down in the agenda. This is just the public comments section.
Right.
So I think we'll get to that.
Is also presenting later. This is from the
Yes.
negotiations team. This is separate. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep, I think we have that though.
What's that?
We have the negotiations team.
The
Oh.
WA is presenting something else later.
Okay.
That's separate of this.
Can you do it at the time when they present, when the WEA presents?
I'm not part of that presentation.
Okay,
Okay.
but your 3 minutes are up for the individual.
Okay. I want to.
No worries. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on with our agenda. The next item on our agenda is for information only. It is a school presentation from Central Middle School. And this is something that we've continued doing over the past 2 years, and I see we have Neldrika Whitaker, principal of Central Middle School, here with her team, and they'll give us a little bit more information about Central Pride.
All right, good evening and happy Monday. Thank you for taking time to hear about Central. We are here to showcase some of Central, and I might have to share that again, and just showcase what Pride looks like at Central this year. We are calling it Essential Pride. Our staff and our students are essential to Waterloo, and we are just talking about how Pride is essential to Central this year.
Good evening. So today we have a few presenters here that I wanted to share. Myself, Neldrika Whitaker, principal at Central. We have Ashley Zhang, who is our current instructional coach, and I put in there that she's a future admin, as that's something that she's looking to do. I also have Megan Larry here, who is our ELA teacher and advisor to our student council. And then we have a couple of our students here. We have Evan Avina, and then we have Aaliyah Barber here. We also, I'm including into this as well, Mr. Tim Hopper, who is a 7th grade social studies teacher and future admin, and then Angie Webb, who is our ELP teacher. Both of them couldn't be here because of either sickness and or funerals within their families, but they also contributed to this presentation as well.
Just trying to share that video with the email that's hooked to the computer. So again, like we talked about, Pride being essential at Central this year. So we're just going to move forward with our presentation, talking about how Pride is in Central, Pride in our community, and Pride in ourselves. What is Central Pride? Throughout this year, we have been really focused on Central Pride and PBIS within our school. So we have the acronym of PRIDE, P being for proactive, R for respect, I for integrity, D for determination, and E for excellence. And these Pride posters we have throughout our building, we have them in the restrooms, in the hallways, and the classrooms. Our building expectations are aligned with Pride, and we just have that throughout our entire school. We've really tried to integrate that this year. We are hoping to build a mindset of generosity and service in our students throughout this year. We really want to let our story at Central shine through, and we are taking pride in our school and ownership in representing Central at a level of excellence.
So one of the things that we wanted to talk about is just different things that we're doing within Central to put out Central Pride. One of the things that we have been doing this year is Hopper Lunch Bunch. This is an opportunity where our kids get to participate in stewardship and also respect of our building. They have opportunities during their lunch shift. Students volunteer to go around and help clean up after other kids leave a mess. So they will go around and they'll wipe tables, they will pick up garbage, any type of thing to make sure that our building is looking good. And they do this with joy. You'll see just some comments from either staff and or students just talking about how they enjoy doing this and how it feels like they're impacting our building by taking just a few minutes just to do these things. Again, a passion of theirs. They're not given anything. It's just something that they enjoy doing. Once in a while, Mr. Hopper will bring them together and just have a collaboration and just maybe do pizza or just time for them to talk about how they're impacting our school environment by doing these things.
Our next little piece is talking about how we are celebrating each other at Central. And so you're going to see some pictures. This is celebrating our custodians, our veterans. We had cookies for the first day of school. They had a volleyball team if you were able to participate. We had a Crush It celebration for crushing some of our scores. And then there was a National Clean Your Desk Day where you got a Snickers bar if you had a clean desk. I did not qualify for that award, but there were many teachers who did.
Mine was a pity one, let's be honest.
Some of the things that we've been doing this year as well is doing Beyond the Risers. At the beginning of the year, we kind of struggled with finding a teacher to do music. And so we actually had Mr. Sudeth who came over and joined us. And he has taken a different spin on how we do music in our building. Very much, you'll see a picture of here of one of his concert. Our students got to participate with glow sticks. There was a moment in time where families took out their cell phones and could wave them in the air as the kids were singing. Not only were kids singing, but the audience was singing, parents were participating, just different things like that to go outside of the traditional concert, but then give our student excitement about being in chorus and in choir. And so again, thinking outside of the box, definitely more of the music that the kids know and are passionate about. I even had families talk about this being one of the best concerts that they've ever been and that their students were practicing in at home and throughout the day.
Sorry. Good evening. Again, I'm Megan Leary. I teach 8th grade language arts at Central. But one of my favorite roles is being the teacher advisor for our student council group. So one of the things that I try to instill in our kids is that we have a great community. Being a Waterloo kid myself, being able to pour into me, what can I help pour into my kids to show what that is like. So through the Becker Buddies, our student council, and then our sister school with Cunningham, we also brought 2 of our students who helped participate in everything that you guys see here. They were part of the Becker Buddies, they're on student council, and then also helped with the foundation of being our sister school with Cunningham.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Evan Avinia.
And I am Aaliyah Barber. We are here with Central Middle School, and we want to tell you about what we did at Cunningham.
What we did at Cunningham is we went during their Martin Luther King read-along and we read insightful books about inclusiveness.
The books we read were inspirational and how everyone can be treated fairly and included.
I read a book about Kamala Harris, about how she's an inspiration, breaking barriers in her field.
Then we helped calm them down about going to middle school. We talked about the schedule and how to get around. It helped them get prepared for middle school and show them it's not that bad.
Similar to this, last year I went to Becker to help the kindergartners with reading, sounding out words, and reading to them.
We're going to play a slideshow to show you all the things we did when we collaborated with the elementary schools.
what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the potion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe out, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the potion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar.
Okay, can I just say how awesome our kids are for being here and sharing? They are truly the heart, obviously, of our district, but definitely of our school. When you're having a bad day, you walk in and you see them, and just whatever problems you have are completely left away. So it's an incredible job that we get to do every single day. So I can't thank you guys enough for being here, okay? So just highlighting some things from Student Council. Like I shared, these are also two of our Student Council members. We work tirelessly every single day, getting student input, making sure Central is a place that kids are excited to come to, and building the community. One of our favorite events is our holiday dinner. So we invite our families to have a free meal, usually hosted by, or catered by Highway 63 Diner. We gave away free books this year for families to take with, and just a ton of fun activities for our families to participate in. One of our newest projects, and two, they are also on this, is our Central Newscast. So we have completely started this from the ground up, and this is completely student-led, and I have taken a back seat, and this is, I'm not kidding when I say student-led. They write the scripts, they record, they edit the videos, they report every single day. So they are finding out all of the everything that's happening at Central, to really bridge that communication gap between all students as well as the adults in our building. One thing, we were invited to the Martin Luther King Jr. banquet. That was seriously such an honor to be able to be invited to that again, and just share our mission to our community, with giving back, celebrating the small and big wins, and truly spreading kindness. And one of the best things that we did this year is the community suffered a loss with 2 students, and we've been through a loss ourselves last year, and we wanted to wrap our arms around our Hoover peeps and our West peeps. So we were able to get donations from our staff, and here, this is a Lego piece that each teacher who had a manual that went to Hoover, so that they always have him in the classroom. Even though he might not be there presently, he will always be a part of the classroom. And then we also made for West High as well as Hoover, just some little globe pieces in memory of those students, so that they're always there. And then we were able to give the Hoover staff breakfast, just kind of as a positive. But probably the most meaningful thing is that every single 8th grader at Hoover was able to receive a small little positive bag that had a positive sticker, a little card, and just a little token to say, we're here for you, we see you, we are with you through everything. I'll let you share kind of a message.
The thing is, though, as soon as we heard about this, we were all devastated. But Miss Leary, she turned that into an opportunity to grieve with them, is the best thing I can think of right now. She immediately thought about how we could help them. And what we did, I know someone at Hoover who was personally affected by that. And they said that what we did really, it helped them. It showed empathy. They appreciated it.
Yeah. So these are just the things that we not only do at Central, but then also lend and give our hearts to other people who need it.
Just to add to that as well, following our support over at Hoover, I also received an email from a student who was over there and just was so appreciative of that and said that they put the card in their cell phone and it was helping them deal with the trauma that they were going through as well. So definitely for that student to reach out. And I actually shared that with the teacher as well as the students, the student council. So it was definitely tears going around for everybody, but definitely it supported them more than what we thought it was going to. So that was a great experience for everyone who participated. This other part was, again, one of the things that was mentioned was our sister school activities that we've been doing. Starting it off at the beginning of the year was more of like a staff to staff thing, and then now getting out from staff to students. Things that we've done between our collaboration with Cunningham at the beginning of the school year, each of their staff members wrote our staff members just a greeting card. Hey, you got this. We're sister schools. We got your back. Just different ways of just supporting each other across the way. We've also participated in things such as their math night, where our teachers and staff and one of our students gave out candy and dressed up. We sent cookies over on their first full day of school. In the background, you'll see the hot chocolate bar that we had put together for them over the holidays. In one of those pictures, you'll also see one of their students helping me with a project we were doing for staff, where we were hiding dollar bills around the building, and the kids, or then the staff, could find them and win a prize. Just different opportunities where we're supporting each other throughout the school year, and just knowing that you have somebody that has your back across the water.
And obviously the biggest thing is pride in ourselves, or our why that we show up every single day, is creating tomorrow's leaders, hence two of our amazing leaders here, but then also our 400 plus kids that we see every single day who are leaders themselves. The kindness and giving back to our community is a huge piece. Again, I know I shared, you have to give back to the community that gives into you. We're more than just academics. Our kids come from all walks of life. Every single day we see kids who have been through the most traumatic experiences. So a lot of us are not only there for the academics, but to just be that piece for kids, to be that escape, to let them know that everything's okay. We love you, we're here for you, and we've always got your back. And again, we're just more than a great place for learning. We're a home for a lot of kids and a lot of staff that hold true to that heart piece.
And then just wanting to give a plug in here. Hey, if any of you guys are chess players, we started a chess club and they are looking for people to compete with. So if you are willing to lose gracefully, because they've been working hard, so make sure you lose gracefully if you come on over. We definitely want to invite you over to play some chess. We started this in January, and we've had kids who are truly excited about it. We added a statement from one of the kiddos who actually says that this is helping him be a better problem solver, supporting him within his boxing and how he can work with his opponents and stay ahead of his opponents, and that the chess club has now got him re-excited about doing chess.
All right, so we've talked about kind of what we have done in the past leading up to this year, but now we want to talk about moving forward and things that Central wants to do within the community. We want to return to the Waterloo Days Parade as well as March Against Darkness. We are providing opportunities for students to continue to volunteer within their community, continue to give back. We plan on having canned food drives. We will be having some Black History Month celebrations where we will be collaborating with Cunningham. I know they are having a concert that we have staff members who are participating in, and then there'll also be a Black History Month celebration at Central as well. There's going to be a Central student panel that will be attending elementary buildings to talk to their fifth graders just about middle school and what to expect. We're going to be giving out blow pops for ISAS so they don't blow it on their testing, and assisting elementary schools with end of the year events. as well as having our admin building relationships with our future sixth graders. So we're really just trying to plug in continuously to the community and the surrounding schools. And then these are just some pictures of our central staff. We like to have a lot of fun, as you can see with some of the pictures here, and we really just show up to support each other. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for listening to us, and thanks for listening to Central.
Don't leave just quite yet. I know we have, if not questions, a few comments. I'll start, and I'm thankful. I'm glad that there's a pretty full gallery this evening, so that some individuals or groups that may not hear a lot of the stuff that are going on in our school buildings get a chance to hear your presentation today. These are always the high point of us sitting behind this desk, is being able to see our students in action, hear the great things that are happening within our schools and within our communities. I do want to highlight Ms. Leary because I've had the opportunity for the last 3 years or so to see the work that the Central students led by you have put in. I've been to the last couple of Martin Luther King Jr. banquets. When we were talking about the one high school, you brought a group and we're talking about the concessions and some of the things that you were doing. And you made a comment that said it's more than just academics, and that for the 400 plus students at your school, in your school building, trying to get as many leaders out of that 400 plus as you possibly can. And I don't want that to go unnoticed. I don't want that to go over anyone's head, or that they miss it, because the importance of having individuals, especially in the middle school and at that age, desire to become leaders and put forth the effort to become leaders, the more opportunity and the more chance they'll have to become great adults. And we know a lot of things are peer driven. So if your peers are making the right decisions and leading by example, then it's easier to get that group of friends or younger siblings to follow suit. And I think that's important for the future of our community, for the future of our school district. So I applaud you. I applaud you, the whole staff at Central, everyone that you work with, all the students. And each time I see your group, it's always different individuals that are stepping up to speak. I don't believe I seen them at the banquet. So it was a whole different group of students. So kudos to you and your staff and everybody that works with you.
We're 28 strong right now.
28 strong, yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
And constantly, I feel like we could grow even bigger by the moment,
And-
which is
and-
an amazing thing to have, a good problem to have, I should say.
Absolutely, and I think you will, because it's, like I said, it's peer driven. With 28 peers, they're going to be able to touch circles and areas that us as adults may not be able to. So kudos to you and your staff and everything that you do for these young people and for our district.
First, that presentation was absolutely amazing. Like, you guys should publish it, put it out there, put it on YouTube, make sure people see this. Evan and Aaliyah, do you want to come up to the mic for a minute? Yeah. And also just like, Neldrika, I see you. I see the touches of what you brought over, some of the things that you brought from Cunningham with you. And I love that. I love seeing it. Okay, guys, so tell me why you wanted to be in student council and what you want to do going forward.
Okay. With me in student council, I just saw it as a way to be a leader. I had the opportunity to show up to events, give back to the community, and just to help around. I could I don't know the word. Like, just be there for everyone. And going forward, I want to do what's right for everyone, which is why I came here. I came here to tell about how I think what we're doing is great. I just want to do what's best.
For me, I joined student council because I thought it'd be a great opportunity to just help people and make new friends along the way and just be really nice to everyone, and to also be a leader. And then I just thought it would be really cool to join student council and to just have so many opportunities. And moving forward, like Evan said, I want to be just a leader. I want to be respectful. Yeah.
Like, do you want to be like student council in high school too?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That's awesome.
Definitely, I was very pleased with Central, and I love the fact that you mentioned about your pride, and I'm over at Central, and I see you portion that as an administration and also as teachers, and it goes all the way down to even support help. That's something I think to be proud of. The two young students there is, it's something to be proud of this moment. The fact that, with the sister school, you're doing communication and connections, and you're making avenues for students. I just think that's one way that's something that is not printed in a book. That's something that, we think about our lives, how communication, being connected, and also recognizing some avenues, new avenues in your life. That's what we adults do. So you're getting a taste of it now. I applaud staff. I applaud everyone. Applaud you as students. So, pretty pleased. The only thing I would have to say is about the chess. Now, I'm walking the halls. I'm quite the avid chess player, so just want to let you know that. Other than that, great job.
I saw him get beat by some West High students, so just putting that out there. Yeah. So he's easy picking, so go ahead and get him. But seeing no other comments, so thank you, Central. Thank you, appreciate you. That brings us to the next item on our agenda, the Trees for Schools grant from the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education accepts and acknowledges with gratitude the $9,980.92 in grant funding from the Iowa Department of Natural Resources as presented.
Second.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is lovely. All right. And then just pursuant to Board Policy 701.9, donations over $2,500 must be approved by the Board of Education and Waterloo Schools. When the vote is done, I'll read that afterwards. But go ahead and tell us a little bit about this grant and any information you want us to know about it.
Hi, so I'm Miss Carrie Taylor. I'm the ELP teacher at Irving and Highland. We got $5,000 grants for both the schools to put trees in. We just got the nursery bid back today, 27 trees for each school. And the kids are going to tell you a little bit more. Ready?
Thank you for allowing Ms. Taylor's groups to present today. We applied for the Trees for Schools because we need shade for our new playground. We also want to make our school grounds more beautiful.
We researched the schools for a trees list. 64 trees. We found facts such as cost, height, color, watering, and which animals will attract it.
Our plan at Irving is to give shade to the new playground, also give shade and beautification to the new sidewalk and green area where the old stadium was. Zach Kelly, District Grounds, approved our plan.
Our plan with the tree grant is to ensure that the playgrounds and sidewalk will have shade. Zach Kelly, District Grounds, approved our plan.
Christy at Waspy Pines has helped us find the best trees for our schools.
According to Arbor Day Foundation, trees can save energy in many ways. 1, through shade-reduced air conditioning. 2, the breaking force of winter rain lowers heat bill. 3, sequestering carbon-reducing climate change. 4, reduce lawn mowing.
We want to have more trees to create a better environment. Trees help us give us oxygen. Trees will give us more habitats for the wildlife.
We want this tree grant because trees will help with a lot of things, like blocking the wind when it's a cold day. They also provide shade when it's sunny or hot. Trees also add more beauty to the school. They are a big part of nature, and I think it's important for every school, store, or house to have trees somewhere.
Planting trees on school grounds is a long-term investment that transforms schoolyards into healthier, more productive, and enjoyable spaces, according to greenschoolyards.org.
And that is their reasons for having these trees. Irving just got a new playground, but there's no trees to protect them, so there's no shade. So those trees are going to, as you could see by the diagram, those trees are going to go right down that new sidewalk, but they're also going to go where the old stadium was. So that'll be where those other trees are going at Irving. And then the same thing at Highland. We have those, they're not new playgrounds, but we have 2 playgrounds and there's a sidewalk in between. But we planted some trees there with another grant I wrote, but we're going to put other trees there so we have more shade because our playgrounds need more shade.
So what ways are you going to maybe utilize trees for other education? You got any plans?
Oh, so they're going to do the planting. So we're going to learn all about that. I have the DNR coming that day. I have Josh Balk coming to that day, and he is an environmentalist from the Dry Creek, if you know anything about Josh.
Yeah.
So he's coming to educate them while they're planting those trees. And they'll be planting them by grade level, depending on which grade decided on what trees. So they actually had to research all the trees, and then we picked which trees would go best in the different areas. And then Christy helped us make sure that, you know, they were in the right places for those trees.
Right.
But those groups will then now plant those trees in those areas.
Okay.
So
I really enjoy doing. I had to do a couple of leaf collections over the years, and that was always enjoyable. Learning like all the different trees and stuff. So there's a
And I
lot
know-
of interesting stuff to learn there. So
kindergarten does that. They do they go around the playground and pick up leaves. So they'll have more
Identify.
leaves to pick up now, and more variety.
Yes.
For sure.
Ms. Taylor, could everybody introduce themselves?
Oh, definitely.
And
Make sure
and
you
what
say
school?
what school you're from because they're mixed.
And grade.
My name is Kingston. I'm in 4th grade, and I'm at Irving Elementary.
My name is Isaac Brown, and I go to Irving Elementary. And I'm in 4th grade.
Sorry.
My name is Gabe, and I'm from Highland Elementary, and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Jovi. I'm in 5th grade, and I go to Irving Elementary.
My name's Orion. I go to Highland Elementary, and I'm in 3rd grade.
Hi, my name is Ava, and I go to Highland Elementary School, and I'm in 3rd grade.
Hi, my name is Rain Gary, and I'm in 5th grade at Highland Elementary.
Hi, my name is Landon Butler. I am a 5th grader at Highland Elementary School.
One quick thing I wanted to add with extra, when you said Irving, the new Irving playground and adding trees, it was a year and a half ago that I got the plaque right here in front of me. That's actually the India Clarice Johnson Memorial Playground, which is named after a former board member of ours. So extra little tie-in to the board here. So very cool that you're adding more, beautifying that area better for us. So we appreciate that. Nice job.
Can we do a quick picture? I can take one. If you want to orchestrate that, I'll set up for the next presentation and I love it. Oh, it's so good.
But you could get it in ice cream.
All right, don't leave yet. Are we back seated? So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. Congratulations, thank you again. The next item on our agenda is for information only. It is a board update from the School and Community Relations Department. And we have our own Emily Frederick, Director of School and Community Relations, ready to take over and give us a little information.
Yeah, I would be happy to. Thank you so much for allowing us to have this time to share with you what is new and happening in the School and Community Relations Department. My name is Emily Frederick. I'm the Director of the department. I began in this role, it's been 2.5 years. It's been a wild and amazing ride. stepping in right at the timing of the new high school. And it was a wonderful way to just dive feet first into the Waterloo community. And I'm so very proud to be a part of this very, very special school district. So thanks again for your time. I'm going to give you a high-level overview of our department and what our department is doing, because we look a lot different than we might have looked 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm going to give you a little bit of what that looks like. So 22-23, the department had 6 full-time staff members, and at that time they had hired some specialists, including a graphic designer, a videographer, and a writer. With budget cuts over the last several years, our department has participated in those budget cuts and have reduced several positions. And so So these positions here we no longer have within our department. And that is okay, because efficiency is key, and we have been able to take a look at the needs of the district and figure out how can we best align those with the staff that we have. So the most recent change is we had a full-time graphic designer. Our department's no longer big enough to be able to have the luxury of having a specialist like that. Amazing work was done by that individual, but we need more of what we call in the communications and marketing industry of a generalist. Somebody who specializes in, they might not be an expert in one thing, but they specialize in a bunch of areas, so that with the 3 of us in that department, we can take the department work and divvy it between the 3 of us, because we all have a little bit of experience in everything, if that makes sense. We've all done a little graphic design, we've all done a little. So that's how our department looks right now. Katrina Heeman, you all know her well. She's been here for over 20 years. She's a mainstay. She's amazing in the department. And then our new hire is Matt Dunkard. And Matt is a current teacher at the Waterloo Career Center. He is teaching part-time this semester and has joined us in our department for the other half of his time. And then starting July 1, we'll have him full-time. So we'll be fully staffed July 1 to work on some of the initiatives I'm about to share with you. So here's a general breakdown of some of the big picture areas on which our 3 positions focus. You can take a look through that. I'm trying to be good on time so I can send this to you. I'm not going to read. That's right. Okay, I figured you would prefer that. So we want to take this work and show you how we think about it and how we break it down. And so we're gonna look at this as like 4 overall sort of communication channels that we use. We have owned, shared, earned, and paid. So owned, for example, would be items like our website, our e-newsletter capabilities, our talking points, the way in which we communicate mass information and emergencies to our families. Those are all products that we own and that we have control over. Shared would be, a lot of shared is really you're relying upon grassroots or your community to share your news for you. So look at the social media as shared. All of our social media avenues and what happens there is shared. Earned is an area that we have some really great and exciting work to do that I'm going to talk to you about in a little bit. And then paid, for this you can think of paid as like paid advertising. Think about it as traditional newspaper ads, as radio, as television ads. And you can see the credibility here versus the cost. And so we take a very hard look at how can we make sure with the low cost and the high credibility areas that we're getting the most bang for our buck. What are we inefficient at now that we can add to the table? So I'm going to start with, we're not going to pay much attention to paid because we're not going to talk about spending any additional money right now, but it is an important piece of the puzzle that we can come back to at another time. But for now, I want to take you through owned. And so our website is the biggest example of how we are furthering the work in this genre. Many of you have been to our website. What you might not know is that the functionality of it is past its lifetime. So there are a lot of things that we just simply can't do on the website. It might look pretty on the homepage, but that's been beautified through some techniques that aren't necessarily accessible either. And so as you are aware, a brand new website, the board approved a year or so ago to start that process. And this is huge. I cannot tell you how huge having a brand new website will be, because it's the linchpin for everything. It's the one space that we should always be sending people to for more information. It should be accessible for everybody. Everything should be, the most important information should be a click away. We are going to launch this website at the end of the month, and we are very excited for that. We've had to push that timeline back a handful of times now, just based on other priorities that needed to take precedent. And so this is coming. This is beautiful and interactive. I can show you. Oh, look, it has a pop-up box for when there's something urgent, like no school. So this is just to sort of look at what that website's doing. You can scroll, we can see stories from schools that you can click on and are interactive, features, news feed, a community calendar, which we're working on how to make sure that likely what we're going to do is, the schools don't know this yet because we'll start it next year, is we'll have a form for anything that the schools have that they would like the public to attend, like Black History Night and items like that. We're going to funnel through to a community calendar so that on any given day you could have one-shot look at what it is that you might be able to attend to learn more about what's happening in the district or just to support your community. That's a quick down and dirty on the website. I'd love to spend more time with you on that, but you're going to be able to see it very soon. Once this rolls out, brand new school sites roll out as well. They look just like this, but they're branded per school. So you'll very much feel like you're in the Bunger world when you're on Bunger's website, for example. So this is huge. This is going to change a lot of the ways in which we do things now, because we don't direct a lot of folks to our website now because it is hard to use. Also, this will give us the functionality to be able to track metrics, to know what families are using most often, so we can slide important buttons up, and we can continue to monitor usage on the website and then react to it per the audience's use of it. Another piece of owned media, owned communication would be our Connect Ed, which we use. Our bus routes use it. We send it for emergency communication. And this school year, we've added, in addition to that, we've added a system called Talking Points. We brought Talking Points in, and the moment it was brought in, we went from being able to communicate in a native language to 75% of our families to 98% of our families. So, for example, with Connect Ed, some people call it Blackboard. We all call it different things because it's had many owners. That's when a parent is going to get a text, a phone call, and a message about something that's urgent, like a snow day, like an early out. Talking Points was built as a one-to-one system for teachers to be able to communicate with families in their native language. It has grown leaps and bounds since that time, and districts now use it as well. We started using it as an option for districts this fall, and almost all of our schools took advantage of that. And we will be launching it district-wide starting in the next school year. So we're already communicating with 28 different languages now in the family's native language, where we weren't able to do that before. So it's a great step in the right direction. At some point in time, we can talk about all of the great benefits of Talking Points. We're seeing great benefits of it used in attendance. A lot of schools are having some positive outcomes with that. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Thank you, sorry. Huh? I have old people eyes. I have it right here. It's just an example of some of the languages that Talking Points can assist us with. Okay, shared channels. Let's talk about our social media. I want to give you just an updated, just a very vague look right here. So our most used social media is Instagram, X, and Facebook. And there are industry standards that we track. Our department has a dashboard, and we track industry standards to make sure that our work is at or above industry standards. And we know with our analytics and some of these systems that we can take a look at the data and see what posts have the most involvement and engagement, and can we mimic those styles of posts moving forward to capture more eyeballs. And so we are above industry standard in all of these platforms. The Facebook platform is off the charts. I'm going to just show you what that breakdown looks like a little bit more. So our Instagram education industry standard is 4.2. This is for engagement. My apologies. This is for engagement. So this means if you click, share, like, comment, if you engage with the post, scrolling by it simply doesn't count. So if you stop and you engage with the post, that's engagement. And so 4.2% of folks scrolling on Instagram on average catch an education post and stop to look at it. We're in the very strong content is resonating well world on Instagram, which means we still have work that we can do, but we're pretty proud of where we are on that today. X is in the strong or above average. For X, just so you are aware, used to be called Twitter. Most of our posts on X are sports related. That tends to be where this region goes for sports news on social media. And so you'll see different content on X than you will on Facebook or on Instagram. And then Facebook engagement, our average is, how did I get that? That number must be wrong. Let me go into here. Yeah, our average is 18% on Facebook. So industry standards, and I'm just going to give you a screenshot. We went in and we pulled some weeks screenshots to show you what that translates to. And so when the education industry average is 2.2 and our highest posts are receiving 64% engagement rates, that's insane. That's insane. It's pretty amazing. Here's another week sample, somewhere in the middle of that pack for us, which is in that 30% range. This is the lowest end. So I went and tracked everything above 10%, and this is an example of the lowest end. Again, when industry average is 2.2, we are outpacing that even on our posts that don't get as much traffic. And then, I know Dr. Smith likes to, it's a good exercise to compare ourselves to what other districts are doing in the area to make sure that we are also benchmarking where we are locally. And we pulled a week from November, December, and January, I believe, to show you what that looks like with these schools. So you can see in this chart, Des Moines Public Schools did have 19% more interaction than we did. They also have 30,000 students in their district, and we have 10. So we're looking great compared to a lot of these area districts. We look at December, same thing. Davenport had a state champion. That is awesome. And of course, that got really great play. Dubuque looks like they had something exciting going on as well. And then you can see we're outpacing the other schools. And then here's our January tidbit, so you can see what that looks like as well. The pictures didn't populate on those previous ones because Facebook doesn't hold those in the memory as far back. That's why you see these and not those. Okay. So we talked about the 4 channels. And earned is where our department has a lot of growth. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how that's happening now. So earned channels and earned marketing is some of the most solid outreach you can do. And that takes time, that takes relationship building, that takes understanding the needs of our buildings and our schools and looking for ways within our community to support those needs. And some of that work, Partners in Education, strategic partners, has been in some other departments over the last couple of years, and we've brought that into this department. And so with the part of the restructuring of that job position and having some generalists on hand now will allow me to get outside of the office more to start working on building more of those relationships. So for example, the food pantries in all of the school buildings. I was able to make that connection with the food bank and connect the food bank with the right people in this building to make that happen. We are in a day and age now where that type of relationship building is critical for all sorts of reasons. Funding is one of them, but community support and advocacy. And so with the new structure of our department, I should be personally able to be out the door more, making those connections based on the needs of our schools. And then our partners in education came to our department and hasn't lifted ground yet. And Matt Dunkerton will have that piece. So we're going to slowly steward it on this quarter with him, and then be fully on board with that July 1 when he's full time. Do you have any questions?
Oh, I was waiting for the slide to change, but.
Do you have any questions?
Right on cue. Are there any questions?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What are some like examples of earned channels that we've had in the past? Like, what does that look like? I'm trying to. So it's just like when you.
I got an example for you.
Yeah.
And so KWWL has recently hired a new regional director. She's new to this area and came in. And so Dr. Smith and I made sure we had time with her, and we met with her and formed a relationship with her. And out of that, in that first meeting, Jared, out of that first meeting came, well, Dr. Smith, you need a show once a month on KWWL.
Wow.
And so now this regional director, if there's something that they need from the district and aren't quite sure, or they want to run something by, it's a direct text to me now. And so I'm sure those relationships have existed all throughout the decades in the community with the district. So it's not that we've been doing anything wrong or not wrong, but the intentionality of making those relationships happen have been a back burner with all of the other items since I've been here anyway that need to take off, right? Laying the foundation with the strong website, with communication tools, the high school vote, all of those things. So now it's time to be very intentional about how we form those relationships to make sure that we really are looking for avenues to meet the needs that we can't meet in any other ways.
I just wanted to also say that I'm so excited about the calendar.
I know you are.
When
it's good.
Equity committee like 2 years ago, that
Yeah.
was one of our
Yep.
projects. So
That came from that. It came out of
is
that.
that what,
Yeah.
So excited to see that.
Yeah.
Emily, I don't know if you had an opportunity to go to the population study at the Gallagher, where they talked about, and Waterloo schools came up quite a bit.
Yes.
Joy asked a question to kind of open that door for the Waterloo schools. Where do you see like our marketing, piece with that? Do we have a seat at the table? Are we there to make sure that the Waterloo schools is a part of that piece? Would you have a role in that, or how is that working
Sure.
as they try to develop into this region as a Cedar Valley instead of, just like Waterloo? Everybody's divided, this regional piece. What role do you see Waterloo schools playing?
Mm-hmm. That's a really great question. Do you mean in by way of working with the Cedar Valley in that initiative, or just in general? Yeah, we need to be at the table for those conversations. Amy Meehee has been at the table for those, a lot of the work with CTE. But you're absolutely right. We need to have a seat at the table for that. Jared, I think you have a seat by way of being on
I
the
didn't make it
board.
to that. It was a full morning, and I couldn't give up that whole time.
No, yeah.
But I've been in 2 separate small group meetings about next steps, and I even did like a follow-up meeting with Tavis to talk about our role. So yeah, you're right. It's a huge undertaking, and I was actually their consultant who was on stage actually did a one-on-one with me for like an hour, asking for how. So I probably should have shared the board a little bit more about what we're doing on our end with that. But we've had a seat there. Just didn't quite make it to that meeting. I felt bad. So yes, great question. Yep. So I'm going to share a little bit more. Emily, great presentation. Appreciate it. I really wanted Emily, and it's a bummer that Katrina and Matt couldn't make it tonight.
Well, we were supposed to be 2 weeks ago, and I had a medical emergency, and like they had rescheduled. Kat's at her daughter's. She's cheering or something.
shoot.
Kids
Okay.
stuff. Kid stuff.
Well,
Important.
you guys know those guys. I really wanted to try to answer some of the board's questions. You know, communications come up a lot. And it is, you know, I always kind of defend and say, hey, like, I think we had some pretty good stuff going. And so I wanted Emily to kind of cut to and kind of share and highlight some of the things that are going. Like sometimes I have been impressed as I walk in Emily's office about the strategy that's actually behind what we're doing. And I know it was hard to see those like social media numbers, but like our metrics, and again, social media, there's pros and cons, and there's some people who say, what does it matter? Our metrics are the best in the state in terms of engagement. And that's why, and I encourage them to like get the behind the scenes data. And you want to say something, it looks like, too. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me just say that that's a testament to the Waterloo community. That's parents, that's grandparents, that's families. We don't earn those engagements on our own, right? We can put out great content, meaningful student stories, but you have to have an engaged community as well to tick that up. And so that's a beautiful, like, I just want to give credit to everybody for those scores, because it means our community is engaging with the work that we do.
A couple more thoughts I want to share are that I know you kind of like, I think there's sometimes you realize, I don't know how to say this, but like how good we have it sometimes in terms of our communication. Because when I'm other places, they're always asking us for advice. They're always like, wow, you guys, like, you would not believe how many times I hear from other places about how good our communication, how transparent it is, how much people in other communities know what's going on here than they know about their own districts. So I know, so again, I also know that our community at times can be a little on the cynical side, right? And it's always the devil's advocate, and always we want to focus on the negatives. I guess I would just really want to give credit to what we're doing within the department. And also, I said, how do we prove it to the board that what we're communicating is reaching our audience, as opposed to maybe the anecdotal that we get from people. Oh, we don't hear about this, and we're working on it. I mean, we had that conversation weekly. Like, how can we make sure the message gets out to everybody, right? So I don't know if there's anything else that you want to share, but I
think I just because it's like data is great and fun, and it's great to make decisions based on that. I can't wait to start infusing the new website data into our dashboard as well, to start tracking that. We just simply can't do that right now. And it does all sorts of things for your search engine optimization that we're not having right now. Your Google searches will become better when this website launches. It's a whole host of, but we can give a one-shot little communications dashboard too that we can add more data to in the coming months, if that's helpful for the board to take a peek at any time.
I do think, like, I see things pop up from, like, my daughter who's at UNI. She had Louis on there. Like, people you wouldn't think are still watching Waterloo stuff. You're right, Jared. Like, our pages draw people, and it pops up all over. They're very well done. Do you feel that it maybe takes a while to make the shift from the more traditional, like when everything was in a printed newspaper and on the news every night? So to kind of get the different ways that people communicate now.
You know, I've worked in nonprofits my entire career in sort of community relations type fields, and it's been a slow slog for a couple of decades now of that. So I can't like think of a boom, that. I mean, it's been trending that way for a while. Now don't get me wrong, print media and traditional media is still very important, right? But the ways in which we engage with that now, instead of taking an ad out in like the gardening magazine, like we might have done 4 or 5 years ago, we save those dollars and then we use them towards something else that we can track the analytics for, that's going to have a bigger reach.
Well, and now we can put the paper article on our on our Facebook page, so.
Yeah.
Emily, I think it's great how you broke things down of the owned, shared, earned and paid, and then looking at how launching the website with the partners in education, media relations, and community partnerships. Do you foresee in the future, because that's kind of like at the $30,000, not thinking about it.
Don't be spending money.
30,000 level, and as we kind of come down, do you foresee some type of communication plan when it's connected with our looking forward to the one school?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I intentionally gave you a 30,000 square foot view because I know I didn't have much time. But yeah, I mean, we could dive into all sorts of layers of strategic plans for those initiatives. Yeah, great question.
All right, anything else? All right, thank you, Emily, and your team.
You're welcome.
And that was just for information only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, so.
Yeah.
Will you
put
share
that out
that
there.
with me, Emily? Will you share your presentation?
I will. Yeah, I'll send it to everybody.
And make sure you tell your team thank you as well.
Oh, yes, I will. I will. I thank them profusely all the time.
That brings us to the next item on our agenda, item 9, which is a board update from the Waterloo Education Association, the WEA. And I see WEA President Jamie Oberhughes at the microphone to give us a little bit more information. And this is for information only as well from the WEA.
Yep, and attached in your agenda, you see the PDF that is the ISEA Bill of Rights. These Bill of Rights were established by the ISEA starting in December of last year. And so my team's here tonight. They're going to talk through what each of those 10 Bill of Rights mean to us as educators in the Waterloo schools. These rights are basically just to affirm the essential conditions required for educators, support staff, and school employees to perform our jobs effectively and sustainably. They reflect longstanding values that are widely accepted and supported by Iowa communities. And so we're just going to share what those are with you. Introduce yourself first.
Hi, I'm Erin McElligott. I teach second grade at Kittrell. I'm going to talk to you about the first two on your Bill of Rights. The first one is just basically wanting to be treated with dignity and respect, which I think is something as humans we just want naturally, right? But there's a lot of talk in our world right now about teachers and education, whether it's profession, whether it's not. And so just as a union, we're really fighting that teachers and educators are being protected and treated with that dignity and respect, not only from our administrators, but also from community members as well. And then the second one is manageable workloads. Education is one of those pretty rare careers where you're asked to do a lot to plan for your workday before your workday starts. And as the last several years have gone on, we have sub shortages, we have staffing shortages, and you know, that's not just a Waterloo thing, it's an education thing, and that's led to staff having to cover classes and help their team, and it really takes away from our ability to use the time that we do have to plan. So we're just trying to fight to protect that valuable time that we do get during the school day.
I'm Sean Riley. I teach U.S. and World History at Waterloo East. So I just kind of wrote down a couple of things just so I could definitely hone in on the key talking points I wanted to cover. So I have the third and fourth ones. So third, educators have the right to fair compensation and benefits. Knowing personally the strain that teachers go through, right? I just wanted to use like my personal life routine, Sunday through Thursday nights, for example, where I'm usually putting in an additional 2 to 4 hours of work outside of contract for grading schoolwork, participating in school-related meetings, generating new and effective lesson plans, or simply trying to meet the needs of one of my 146 students that are enrolled in my class. I know that I am not alone and that our teachers work tirelessly to meet diverse student needs. In a world where everyday prices seem to constantly rise, competitive pay and benefits play a vital role in retaining experienced educators and attracting new ones to our district. In a state like ours, where public schools are consistently being underfunded, this topic continues to require constant conversation and action, especially from our legislators. Now, for my fourth one, we have, of course, the right to have a safe and healthy work environment. As we all know, students cannot learn to their full capabilities and staff cannot teach to their full potential if the work environment is unhealthy or we do not feel safe. Whether that's building security, classroom conditions, or manageable student behaviors, the WEA continues to advocate for learning spaces where both students and staff can thrive without fear or unnecessary risk. To best summarize this point, our working conditions are students' learning conditions.
I'm Stephanie Giacchino, and I teach fifth grade at Pointer Elementary. The fifth one on ours is a secure retirement. I am in my 36th year of teaching. I taught 19 years in private schools prior to coming to Waterloo. And I will tell you that IPERS is what will help me to be able to retire eventually. As educators, it's one of our greatest benefits, not one that's not given in a private setting. But as you have heard in Governor Reynolds' talks, it's not a guarantee. Legislators are looking for ways to cut our IPERS, and we cannot let them. It's definitely a necessity for people to know that they've worked hard, done their job, and can retire at some point without doing another job. The sixth right is for quality resources. We need certain supplies to do our jobs. We also need respected experts in the education community to be the source of our curriculum. Sometimes we hear from places that they want outside sources, not education experts, or people that have other agendas to determine what kind of curriculum is taught. And I can say I don't feel that at this time in Waterloo. I don't want anyone to think I'm suggesting otherwise. But as a union, that is one of those things that we will continue to fight for, that we have the supplies and equipment we need, and also that our curriculum continues to be credible and research-based and developmentally appropriate for our students.
Hi all, it's very good to see you again. I'm Jody Baller. I am an 8th grade teacher over at Hoover. I have the 7th and 8th right. So 7th right is a right to school environment that emphasizes student learning, and it's supported by administrators, board members, parents, and community members. The WEA sponsors events. I think there was one just this last Saturday with some of the board members where we were able to talk and have our members come in, which is super important. But in addition to that, when I was serving as president, we were on different committees that the community was in on and school board was in on, and we went in with things like the dress code and the teacher dress code, the cell phone ban, policy reviews we're still in with, the calendar, just getting those teachers' feedback and letting us be heard about things that are important in our classrooms and with our students is very important. The 8th right is the collaborative leadership. The WEA has a labor management council that meets monthly with district administration. And we talk about the things that are impacting our teachers and our members. And these are so very important. We also have HR meetings, I believe, that are still happening at least once, twice a month, and constant communication so that we're able to be proactive about anything that's happening and support our members the best we can. The other thing that I think Jared started when he was here was monthly meetings with our WEA reps and our administrators. And that really helps our administrators see what's going on in the buildings, and having the support from district to make sure those are happening has been really important. And yeah, thank you.
Luke Overton, I'm WEA Vice President and Vocal Music at Hoover. I've got points 9 and point 10, the right to professional growth and the right to professional collaboration. Professional growth is essential because effective teaching requires continuous learning, reflection, and adaptation to meet the evolving needs of students. Access to meaningful, educator-driven professional development strengthens instructional practices, classroom management, and other components of high-quality teaching across all content areas. When protected as a right, professional growth shifts from compliance-based training to purposeful learning that empowers teachers as skilled professionals. Safeguarding this right helps ensure educators remain current, supported, and equipped to provide high-quality learning experiences for every student. The right to professional collaboration. Collaboration is essential because the best solutions in education rarely come from working in isolation. They come from shared expertise and collective problem solving. Structured time to collaborate allows teachers to align curriculum, support struggling students, and maintain consistency across programs, which ultimately strengthens the entire school community. Protecting collaboration affirms that educators are professionals whose voices and experiences deserve a place in decision-making. When collaboration is valued as a right rather than as an extra, it fosters trust, reduces burnout, and leads to better outcomes for both teachers and students.
So as you can see, there's nothing about those 10 rights that are earth-shattering or anything that anybody really could hold controversial. They're just 10 rights that we can all believe are a terrific formula to allow teachers and all certified staff to feel great when working with kids in our schools. We also know that you can't do this without appropriate funding in our schools. And as Tracy earlier mentioned in his points, we know that our schools have been understaffed for many, many years. And to get that back up to where it would need to be, SSA would need to be set at 14% in order to even get back to where we were. So there is the Public Schools Strong resolution that's asking school boards to ask for 5% of our legislative body this year, that we would be so kind to ask you to consider joining Cedar Falls and other school districts in the area who have signed to that resolution. We also do, if that's not one you're quite interested in, we have one through the ISEA that is just a school board resolution that would be stating that you support these 10 Bill of Rights and would do all you can to make sure that teachers and employees in our district receive these rights. And I will send you that once I get back to my computer. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, WEA. As always, we appreciate the relationship with the WEA. I know when I began to sit in this seat, Jody was the then president. And we made it our mission to work together with the WEA and let you guys know and your colleagues know how important a good working relationship is, and how much we appreciate all the work and service that you do for our schools and our students and families as well. I do want to put this caveat out there because I know we were getting monthly or quarterly WEA updates. So anytime you want to, address the board, please reach out to Pam and get on the agenda. I know we were doing that. I believe it was quarterly, if I'm not mistaken. Jody, help me out. Yeah. We try to do it quarterly, and also with Ask Me and the other WSP as well. So anytime you want to address the board with any updates or things like that, make sure you get on
And
Pam
we just recently, like we had Crystal join us February 7th for some juice and donuts. And then we just on Saturday had Stacy and Jesse and Jonathan who joined us. And then Aster and Janelle and Lyle, we had an ask out to you to come on the 21st. And I heard from you, Aster, just waiting for our other two. And then we'll get that out to our members too. So we've had some pretty great member turnout to that and have some really good conversations that help our members have all then texted or emailed us afterwards to tell us that we've really appreciated those conversations, getting to know you, who you are, what your background is that you bring to the board, and how you help us is a great conversations that have been happening.
well, I know I can speak for Lyle. He's technology deficient right now, but he'll be back, I believe, this evening. So I'm sure he'll respond in a timely manner, and if his schedule allows. But you've received my information, so I think we're good to go. So thank you for the invite as well.
Yeah, and thank you for having us.
Yeah, I appreciate you setting the time up and give us, the opportunity to speak and definitely build relationships. That's important because, a lot of times we see each other, maybe we see somewhere else, but, be able to have a little more intimate conversations on, where we're at on things and stuff. So.
And it doesn't have to be a one-time thing.
And I see they're still standing, so I feel okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was scary. I think they
No.
maybe thought it maybe at first, but it wasn't.
We brought great donuts.
I think it was a very, very good conversation, and I think, it allows us a chance to be open and, to each other and kind of, see different perspectives and understand some of the needs there, and the needs are great. I mean, there's no doubt the needs are great, and, the work you do is some of the most important work that we have in our society, getting the next generation ready. So everything you do is appreciated.
Yeah, I can say definitely the communication. Let's continue this communication. Speaking for myself, it's, I like to be a learner, and so learn some things, meeting, and I think the other aspect of you mentioned, and someone mentioned about, you get to know who they are, the why. And so I appreciate the invitation, and let's continue.
Yeah, great.
Make sure you help limit me to one donut too, please.
Esther, do you mind if we take this last moment here to introduce you, our negotiations team? Because our negotiations team is not on the agenda item, which is why Tracy was trying to introduce whom we were. So could we take the last bit just to...
You can. I sent Tracy a message, a chat real quick. I was going to pull it off of the agenda, off the consent agenda, and allow that opportunity.
Perfect.
I didn't want to, dismiss anything, but I wanted to stay with the protocol.
They just were both on the agenda at the same time, and so it was very confusing. And so, yes.
So I don't know if he got my message or not, but we can do it either way. I'll pull it off. I'll pull it
That's
off,
fine.
and
It
then
goes with that.
I want to say, if we could pull 5 of them
yeah,
and come up and talk during that time.
I got marked it already. I was going to pull it anyway, and then allow. Yes.
Perfect.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. No worries.
Good deal.
Thank you all. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Glad we're thinking in line there. So.
And that was just for information only as well. The next item on our agenda is a cooperative sponsorship agreement. Ooh, tongue twister. And this is for just for information only as well. Applications from both the Iowa High School Athletic Association boys and the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union previously required the signatures of the superintendent and the school board president from the requesting school and the host school on March 8, 1999. The board authorized the superintendent to enter into participation agreements with other districts. This particular cooperative agreement is within our own district. It'll be the requesting school is the Waterloo East High Girls Golf, which is the activity, and the host school will be the Waterloo West High Girls Golf Team. So they will be in a cooperative agreement for this upcoming school year.
I don't know who is our contact, because Josh isn't here, but so will they, because I know like the West girls usually practice at Burns, and then the East girls usually practice at Gates. Is it going to all be at Burns now, or are they going to be able to use both, or do we not know yet?
And that's something, I believe that's up to the coaches and what's more convenient. I know we talked about that with, we did the cooperative with wrestling.
Okay.
Being able to practice at both facilities since we had just redone the wrestling rooms at both. But I think this being the first year, the coaches will determine what's more convenient and what's more convenient and feasible for the student athletes.
That's all I'm wondering.
Are they going to compete under the new branding, or we would have to go as one of the existing schools? Does anybody know that?
From my understanding, the cooperative sponsorship agreement goes to the school and it goes to the conference. So whatever conference Waterloo West is in, that's the schedule they'll have, and they'll be under Waterloo West.
But wait, what team branding? Because like in
West.
girls, here's an example, like girls state wrestling, they have Raccoon River, which is Waukee Northwest, Waukee, and I think Van Meter. So they're able to use a new name and not each school's name. Is that?
But I do know from my understanding, there's a timing with that.
We do have a timeline,
even with like
right?
conference changes. I won't mention the district, but I ended up officiating a school on Saturday, and they're not fully in the conference yet, but everybody knows they're going to that conference, so they couldn't technically have a schedule within that conference yet. They just happen to play a few teams in that conference. So it's some state regulations on, being able to, but that's a good question.
So very timely, Jesse, because I'm looking at the Waterloo United High School branding FAQ document that's in draft form right now that our ADs are looking over. I know Emily's been working on that with Josh. I'm reading one of the FAQs. Now this is a draft, okay? But I'm reading one of the FAQs. When will Waterloo schools officially begin using Titans branding? Is the question. The answer, and official use of the Titans brand begins with the 26-27 school year. Oh. So, and again, this is in draft form, and it's going to be going out, I think, at some point here soon.
So that's the answer. So
that's
got clearance.
That is what we've got from the ADs,
and that's for all the sports that we have
so
combined,
we've
right?
Got the
because we have quite a few combined, right?
What's that?
6. Yep. This will be number 7, I think.
So I've got girls tennis, boys tennis, girls swimming and diving, boys swimming, girls soccer, girls wrestling, girls golf. And so again, those I'm looking at, and again, this says the following programs are currently combined and will use the Titans brand starting in 26-27.
What conference is it? Would it be a makeshift schedule, or what conference
Well, I'm
alignment
looking
would
at
they
the
go
press
to?
release. The press release for the golf says it'd be the MVC. The combined girls golf team will compete as a member of the Mississippi Valley Conference and will follow the Waterloo West competitive schedule.
Since they're the whole school, that would make sense.
Well, if we're, I think we may need some more information on that.
So that's why I've been really pushing our ADs and again, you're asking the question. I feel like I need to get out that again. This is a draft. I've been really pushing Tim, Tom, Josh, Kurt, the team to get clear on this because we owe it to our families to give an answer as soon as possible.
And I just forwarded Pam to you if you want to share with the board. I think I included you all, Esther, just on that conversation that Josh Payton was having with the ADs on the girls golf specifically. So that has some more details that Pam can share with the rest of the board too. But I just had asked them that same question. So that gives you a little more detail on that discussion, and it has the ADs on there as well. So we can get that information out.
I mean, I kind of knew the answer, but the reason I say that, there's been a little bit of confusion within the community this last weekend on.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, on what school it is and what is correct and stuff. So.
And I don't mind being a little transparent up here. When I saw the state finals, and they said wrestling for Waterloo West, and she comes out with the Waterloo East.
Yeah.
Singlet. I'm like, you guys, we got to tighten this down. Moving forward, and I know we're in transition.
Right, the transition. I put respect.
But you're right. You gave great examples, Raccoon, of other districts that have communicated that somehow the combining.
Yeah.
So we need to get better at that moving forward.
But not to get off into that, but to me that's different because they're not combining a school. They still have separate schools. They're just combining a program.
So an example I saw was like Grundy Center / AP.
Yeah.
right, where they had two combined, and they made it clear. So again, it's just something we need to look at moving
Right, and that's
forward.
that's the point, is that going forward, so that, you know, the communities out there understand it, is that it's a combined program. It's not a West program or East program. It's a combined, and that's, I think, we want, you know, out there, is that these teams that are sharing, that they are, you know, using, and especially if we start using new branding, get that out there, that they are.
But if we do that, do we know, are we just assuming that everything is going to be Mississippi Valley Conference? I know it's a whole nother conversation, but I think, and we don't have to answer that now, but I think that conversation needs to be a part of the branding and
Right, well, even like this, I think they're all in the same conference anyway, but like with Raccoon River, they're still in that condition. They're still a host school, so they're, you know, if the two schools were in different ones, it goes to the host school. I think what host school is on paper is, which is a different story. Like that's a now thing to what happens in, you know, a few years.
Yeah. Okay. Further discussion. This is just for information only, and we'll get the correct information going forward. We'll get that email from Pam. So, does anybody have any other questions on that? Okay. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda consists of 7 items. Item 1, approval of minutes of the January 26, 2026 regular board meeting. Item 2, personnel appointments and adjustments. Item 3, bills due and payable and bills paid between board meetings. Item 4, East High JROTC travel to Bellevue, Nebraska. Item 5, labor negotiations team. Item 6, open enrollment. And item 7, set date of public hearing for sale or disposal of real property. Are there any items that board members want to see removed?
4. And did you say 5 too then?
Item 4,
Yes.
Item 5. Are there any other items board members want to see removed? Okay. So all those in favor of approving, can I get a motion to put items 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7 on the table?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving items 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. That brings us to item 4. East High JROTC travel to Bellevue, Nebraska. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve travel for East High's JROTC team to travel to Bellevue, Nebraska from February 20th through the 21st, 2026 to participate in a drill meet.
So moved.
Second.
And I see sorry we had to make you wait so long. So we have the JROTC staff and a couple of students. You want to make your way up to the microphone quick? We'll try not to keep you long.
I guess I didn't realize
Get up,
this was
kids.
going
Come on.
to go so quickly. But I did bring some of my staff to come and speak to you about the importance of this drill meet. And so I'll just let the kids talk. Whichever one wants to go first.
I'm going. So I just want to talk about how important these drill meets are to our program, and then we also do a lot of volunteering in the program and like in the community, as you know. But I just want to talk about the advantages that it has that go beyond learning in the classroom or just doing the movements in class. So it's just like specifically, I've been able to nurture my friendships that take time beyond being in the program, in the classroom, and the volunteering events we do. For example, the drill commander, I wouldn't have been able to nurture that friendship if we hadn't been able to go to practice or do any other events. And then I'll also want to go to how the skills that we learn go, how to stay in time and stay in sync with other people, and the importance of working with others to achieve a common goal. And this takes the competition that we're going to attend in Des Moines or Minnesota one step further, because it's not it's at the national level and has many more strict standards and challenges I'm sure the drill team will be able to rise to. And this also is one of the many things that we're involved in and motivates our members and is a way to strengthen our reputation. I just wanted to talk about how vital this is and be an honor to go to this drill meet and get this opportunity to do so.
My name is Teresa Holt. I am our current battalion commander, and this drill meet would be really special for the battalion, partially due we had to cancel St. Paul due to what's been going on, and it would just be great for the cadets to leave the state and do something really fun and an overnight trip. I'm also speaking as someone that doesn't leave the state very often, so for those cadets that don't get to do it on their own in their own time, this would be very nice for them. I think it would be a great experience to also get to see other JRTC schools, so we can continue to work on improving our own battalion, and just as well as being able to put more of a name for ourselves on a more national level, since we had claimed first place for drill last year at St. Paul. So being able to do this would just be wonderful for the cadets. Thank you.
I am Landon Hobfoss. I am the current drill commander in our lovely program. I'm here speaking on behalf of my entire team. When we work really hard to get to these competitions. On top of school, it's very stressful. And so even outside of school, we put so much work into these programs, and it's a lovely opportunity to get out in the program and actually meet other ROTC programs nationally, not just locally.
All right, so you heard it from them, and thank you very much for approving that, and we're gonna have a great time.
We haven't approved it yet.
Oh, that's true. Darn it. I'm jumping the gun. Anyway, well, thank you for your time.
Shameless plug.
Have you guys ever, I know it's not necessarily Army, but have you guys on the trip out west Nebraska thought about going over to the Strategic Air Command Museum? It's over in Ashland.
I'll let Master talk.
Yeah, we did it like 5 years ago.
Okay.
That's what we did. Made it a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
So.
That's a really neat museum. For
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And our hopes are really getting this experience, not only just for drill, but to be able to bring our Raiders team in and get to these national level competitions and put Waterloo at the top. I mean, that's really what we're looking to do. All right, thank you for your time.
Do our other participants want to introduce themselves?
No, sure. You might know one of them.
Yeah. We won't put you on the spot and make you nervous.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Enjoy your trip.
Good luck. Let us know how it goes.
Yep. 1 second. So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you. Enjoy. Make sure you come back and let us know how it went. Thank you. Yeah, and sorry to have you wait so long with the students. That brings us to the next item on our consent agenda, the labor negotiations team. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the labor negotiation teams and process as outlined.
So moved.
And I'll take this opportunity to bring up Mr. Tracy Richmond if he would care to do so. Sorry we had to make you wait a little bit. That's right. Give you the opportunity to introduce your negotiations team for the WEA.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the opportunity and email. Everyone's still here, so that's the good news.
Good.
Julie Schmitz is one of our elementary representatives from Orange. Of course, we have our president.
Step up, Tracy, step up to the mic so the people can hear you.
We have Jamie Oberhoy, our president, that's also on the team. Sean Riley from East High is our high school representative. We have our fine arts representative and Luke Overton, our vice president. And sitting in with us, Amber McGivern will be there as well. So.
Nice. Like I said,
I appreciate the opportunity to do that. I know we sit on the other side of the table and it can be adversarial once that process starts, but I left my boxing gloves at home. I was gonna bring those next week. So thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Glad you stuck around. So wanted to get that out there. So
Thank you, Tracy.
we appreciate you. All of your whole team. We appreciate your whole team. So thanks. Were there any questions? That's for Sam. You off the hook today. So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. That brings us to the next item, and that ends our consent agenda. The next item on our agenda is the network equipment support and maintenance purchase. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the purchase of E-rate eligible network equipment from ASOR in the amount of $580,209.45 as presented per the attached bid evaluation.
Second.
And we had, oh, that was quick. We were way in the back. We have our own Matt O'Brien, Director of Technology, to tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so I think much of the board is familiar, but just for folks maybe listening at home, there's a federal program known as E-rate, which allows schools the opportunity to apply for funding for certain technology purchases, including network equipment. So anytime that we buy network equipment, we do that under the rules of the E-rate program. So the proposal before you tonight is mostly for the new high school, and it seems really early to be buying network equipment for the new high school, but because the E-rate program only has one bidding cycle per year, and that combined with some expected long lead times of the equipment and several phases of the construction that will be completed not this summer but the following summer, we need to get this approved tonight. That then allows me to file for E-rate funding, which will hopefully be approved for, and then we would actually make the purchase out of next fiscal year. So that's why the purchase is in front of you this evening. Also just want to point out it's a little bit of a confusing bid. Typically years ago when the district bid new constructions like new elementary schools, we actually did all of this equipment as part of the construction package. So that would be part of like what Larson gave us a master bid for. We stopped doing that because it's so much cheaper for us to do that outside of contract. It saves all of the contractor markup, and then we're also able to apply for E-rate funds, which, as you know, through the bid evaluation is a pretty significant chunk of money that we'll actually get back. So that's the good news. The bad news is because E-rate is really nuanced in its rules. One of the rules with E-rate is that we have to accept any bids, so any vendor is allowed to basically bid anything that they deem equivalent to the specs that we actually put out. So we have a certain type of network equipment in our district network, which is Aruba network equipment. That's what we bid. We did have one vendor that bid that type of equipment, and then we had another vendor bid a completely different type of equipment, which would create quite a few challenges with interoperability and even just working and phasing in with our network. So there are two bids that are pretty far apart in their initial bid cost, which makes sense because it's really apples to oranges. It's really two different types of equipment. But that said, I did want to point out, and I put this in the bid evaluation as well, if you look at the actual expected district cash outlay throughout the 7-year lifespan of the equipment, which is roughly what we typically expect this type of equipment to have as a 7-year lifespan, then the district is, the difference is much narrower. It's about $10,000 difference between the two. And again, it is apples to oranges equipment. So we expect there to be a difference between those. So hopefully that makes sense. I was a little disappointed that we only received one bid for the actual equipment that we specified, but just for comparison's sake, and I included this in the attachment as well, I did actually go and quote that from another vendor, so that wasn't part of the official bid process, but I did obtain a quote and then included that in the attachment as well. So you can see we're actually getting some pretty favorable pricing from that vendor compared to the pricing that other vendors would offer. So I know that's confusing. Any questions I can help with?
No, I just wanted to say out loud that, so the district's estimated post E-rate cost is that 87,000?
The 87,000. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we went through this before, so.
Most of you are veterans.
Yeah. So are there any more questions? So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Stay put. Let me find it. The next item on our agenda is network equipment support and maintenance purchase. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the network maintenance contracts as presented at a total cost of $42,908.
Second?
So I apologize, I should have named these better. So the previous was actual equipment purchase, which then comes with 1 year of maintenance with that. So that's why it technically was both network and maintenance. This is now network equipment maintenance and support for equipment that we currently operate within the district. That's another part of the E-rate program that they allow us to apply for funding for, is for assistance with that maintenance and support costs. So what that is we maintain the equipment, but what this allows us for is for software updates. So everything in technology now, unfortunately, is subscription based. So this is basically a subscription for us to get those updates. It also allows for support cases. If there's issues, we can open that with the support company and resolve those. It also, in many cases, allows for warranty replacement. So if the hardware actually dies, then we're able to go through the support costs, the support process, and get a replacement for that. So a pretty routine thing that we do every year. This year, it's over the dollar threshold that requires board approval. It's something that we've always done in the past, however, as well.
And again, just to state, the post E-rate cost to the district is a little over $12,000.
That's the expectation, yeah. E-rate is a little finicky with the way things are calculated, so that's my best calculation of what I think we're eligible for, but then obviously we have to let the application process play out.
But it's a pretty close percentage that you.
I've gotten pretty close with estimates in the past, yep.
All righty. Any more? Right. Any more questions or comments? So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks much.
So that brings us to the next item on our agenda, financial information. And I'll turn it over to our CFO, Mr. JT Anderson, to give us a little information on our financials.
Yeah, thanks. These monthly financials are from November, so we're still playing a little bit of catch up. December's almost ready, just putting some final touches on those adjustments. Just want to make sure everything's captured before I give them to the board. But if you look on the page that has the finance report, again, just for a little bit of review, the top section has those expense categories that we put through in the certified budget. That's what those are for. And then the bottom half of that report breaks it out by the individual funds. So I'm going to focus there on that bottom part, specifically on the operating fund. That's our general fund, Fund 10. If you look at the third column over, you'll see the year-to-date revenue of $56.5 million. When we compare that to last year at this time, year-to-date, we're up 10% from a year ago, and that's primarily due to the property tax increase. I don't think any of us forgot that. So that's the primary driver of the revenue being higher than it was a year ago. On the expense side, if you go to about the sixth column, you'll see $45.7 million year-to-date. When we compare that to last year, we're down about 9.4% from a year ago. Salaries are down 3.6% and benefits are down 1.7%. We would again expect that because of the budget reduction pieces. Supplies are down 21%. I don't think it's going to end up that way when we get to the end of the fiscal year, but just some timing things. It will be a reduction, but probably not to that magnitude. But again, revenue's up 10% and expenses down 9.4% from a year ago. When you look at the PEPL fund, which is the fifth fund there, Fund 36, and you go all the way over, you're going to see a negative number of $125,863. That's where the fund balance is as of November 30th of 2025. For PEPL, that's a property tax fund, so all of the revenues for that fund are primarily property taxes, but the expenses are front-loaded in that fund because most of the major projects happen in the summer months. So we had significant expenses in July and August, and then some in September. The revenues will catch up when we get our second installment of property taxes in April. So that you'll see that fund balance reverse course, and will be in the black shortly. And then the last thing I'll point out is Nutrition Fund 61. If you look at the year-to-date revenue, which is again that third column over, you'll see it revenue of only $140,000. That there's timing issues. The state and federal reimbursements did not come in until December, so we got multiple months in December. So you're going to see that number significantly increase as well. So you might look at that and say, "Oh wow, we only had $140,000 of revenue, but almost $2.4 million of expenses. What's going on?" Well, again, it's a timing issue with those revenues coming in. Any questions on that page or that report? On the second page, real quick, again, this is just a summary of our cash balances and investments as of November 30th. If you recall, we do have a line of credit with Farmer State Bank to help if we need it for operating costs. I can tell you, in November, it's a zero balance, so we don't have any debt outstanding in regards to that line of credit as of November 30th. The cash balance in the general fund is just under $7 million total. When we look at November of last year, that cash balance was $15.8 million, so we're tracking $9 million less than where we were a year ago. So again, just keep that in mind as we move forward the rest of the fiscal year. We do have that line of credit to help with any timing of cash inflows and outflows. So yeah, I just wanted to make you aware of that. So total investments, $89 million, but remember about $75 million of that money is related to either our one high school project or outstanding bonds that we already have. So they're already encumbered or obligated to those uses. Any questions about that?
It's where you expect everything.
Yeah, I mean, we would have a real issue or problem if we saw our expenses higher than they were a year ago. If they were tracking higher, again, we went through budget reductions, and we're in that mode right now too, because obviously our financial position is such. But yeah, we're tracking, I think, where we should be. Yes. Any other questions?
Good. All right. Thank you, JT. And that was just for information only, so no vote on that. All right, so that ends our action items for the evening, and now on to the superintendent's report.
Just one quick update here. First of all, really enjoyed the presentations earlier. When I walked in, I didn't really know what the younger students were here for, and then I was like, okay, Central's here, but those kids look a little bit younger. So, thanks for, such a cool thing that the student project there. The big thing I wanted to highlight was we did kind of confirm again this afternoon that we've got some town halls coming up this week. So we've got 2 huge opportunities for the public to come Wednesday night and Thursday night to hear from our 2 high school principal finalists. So again, this is something actually the board and our leadership team kind of said, hey, how can we make sure that we get candidates in front of as many community members as possible? So our 2 internal candidates, Dr. Charlotta Suddeth, and who's currently within the HR department, has done a number of amazing things for the district, over the last, I think, 20 plus years. And then Zach O'Brien, who has had various leadership positions, currently the principal at Bunger Middle School, will be the other finalist. And we've got, like I said, 2 town halls set up. Are those 6 to 8 or 5 to 7? I can't remember.
6 to 8.
6 to 8 p.m. this Wednesday over at Hoover Middle School, and then this Thursday over at East High School. And I believe, Sam, the setup is that there will be a 45-minute or is it 30-minute presentation, and then why don't you share that?
So starting at 6 o'clock, we'll have one of our candidates that will do about a 30-minute presentation sharing their vision for the one high school and what that would look like under their leadership. We'll do kind of a brief question and answer session where some candidates can offer any other thoughts about what their vision might be based on some audience questions, and we'll take those. That will be a moderated forum, so it's not just going to be a back and forth discussion. So they'll do that for about 15 minutes. We'll take a little 10 or 15 minute break between the two candidates so any community members can write down their thoughts, think of what that looks like, and then we'll do the same process from 7 to 8 with our second candidate. And anybody that attends will be welcome to fill out a feedback form at the end of the session. We would ask that any community members stay for the entirety of the presentation so that you can give feedback on both candidates.
And then it culminates Friday with, do you want to talk about that real quick?
On Friday, we will have our candidates at the Waterloo Career Center is where we're going to do our interviews. That will be the site of obviously Waterloo United High School. But our candidates are going to go through 4 different interview panels where they're going to meet with some of our leadership and DLT team. They're going to meet with a community panel. They're going to meet with a staff panel. And then we've got some students and a tour of the building lined up for them. So they're going to go through a pretty intense process, and we'll get feedback from all of those groups to help make a decision on who the next leader is going to be, or the first leader is going to be for Waterloo United.
So I just wanted to, while I had this forum, I wanted to kind of confirm that is a plan for Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday. We did have the one press release going out last week. We're planning on another one going out to tomorrow to make sure that the community is well informed. We'd love to have both Hoover and East High packed, hearing from both finalists and giving us their feedback. That's it from my end. Thank you.
Real quick inside joke, do they need boots for their tour of the one high school? Because I did not have mine when I took my tour.
We are going to have appropriate PPE for both of our candidates. So, yep.
It was fun.
Cold outside now.
Well, at least it wasn't all snow. It was, just muddy more than anything else. We've had excellent weather. I mean, you look at, if you had drove by there, the construction going on over there, like I went by earlier this week, and it's like they got a lot of the frame walls and the gymnasium up and a lot of structure up there, and I think we've been kind of fortunate with the weather this year on construction to kind of go forward. So,
All right. Thank you, Dr. Smith. For board comments tonight, we'll start with Director Knight.
Oh. Well, I like congratulations first to Ms. Denasia Watson, Waterloo East, wrestling for the combined Waterloo team, winning our first girls state title for the city of Waterloo. I'm fortunate to watch her over the years. My son is also a senior, so we've seen her around the wrestling circuit since she was a very young wrestler, and just always amazing athlete, and amazing that she was, took some time off and came back and, accomplished that. And just congratulations to the whole program there, Coach Caddo, Coach Dunning, and the staff over there, and the whole squad. So.
Thank you, Director Knight. Director Mills.
It was very exciting to have everybody here. This was a really amazing night with students and staff and the presentations. It is exciting. It's really exciting to go into this week and what we're looking towards that is tempered by the budget stuff. So, both are going on, and I appreciate the community's input on everything. So continue to let us know how you're thinking. And finally, I really did appreciate getting to meet with the WEA and them buying the fancy donuts from Hy-Vee, not the ones that I usually buy, like it was the fancy ones. So anytime, reach out. I think it was a really good way for us to be able to interact without it being formal. So I'm good.
All right.
What did I say now?
No, I got an inside joke real quick. Thank you, Director Mills. So we have a joke before I go to the rest of the board members. At my job, Director Cox is, I don't want to say bougie, but I'm a plain glazed donut person, and he's a Panera bread. No, he's a bagel. So anytime we have that stuff, it you know, I got my own comments. Just give me an old glazed donut and I'm fine. I'm gonna let him get back at me real quick. Director Cox.
Well, it's kind of, well, you know, it's not rebuttal. It's just, you know, the fact that I'm just sometimes I'm in an arena that I'm just trying to lift them up to a higher place, you know, and the fact of having a little bit of Panera, a little sprinkle Panera is a little bit better than, but we're happy with all vendors and everything. So, you know, I just want to touch on the simple fact that, you know, as we go through this moment, and you know, on Saturday when we met with, I said sometimes I feel like I'm in a train, and it's going so fast I can't appreciate the scenery. And so I just want to make sure we keep in mind that as we're kind of going through this, and learning more about the communication in the new website, all that is so important when we're talking about, you know, what is that message to that parent that's worried about their child and their education. You know, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be dead on it, is the fact that because of the times that we have, and don't get me wrong, the Witchy report talk about enrollments going down and everything. You know, I just want to make sure we as a district is fighting for every student. I'm talking about every student that's thinking about over there. No, you need to come here. So a lot of times when I mention about what is that communication, you know, I'm a parent, and I'm wondering what I'm receiving. So that's one aspect that I just want to push out there, is that we got to continue this communication. I think we're doing a lot better job on it. And I'm just going to encourage, let's keep it up. I think the fact that seeing the Central middle school and their kids and all the things that they're doing, the communication between Cunningham and Central and Becker and Central, you know, those are the things that it's our foundation, and it should make us proud. And I think sometimes we need to step back and literally think about the things that make us proud. Because this district does do some things that it makes us proud. The fact that, you know, with the girls wrestling, you know, from a middle school standpoint, Carver and Central, first time ever wrestling in like a duel. Happened on Friday. Those are some great things. And so, you know, and to be quite honest, I don't know a lot about wrestling, but I think we're in pretty good shape. of what's coming up, what I see in the middle school. I'm excited about that. And so there's some good things to look at, even though sometimes it can get a little smoky in the room. Let's look at the good things, because that's what's going to make us go forward. That's what's going to make this district the district that we want. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cox. Director Matlock.
Thank you. I just want to briefly focus on, I've said this before, the school celebrations are the best part of sitting on this board. To see the 4th and 5th graders from Irvin and Highland come in with this project and see their parents so excited. My sorority sister, Jamaica Sanders, and her husband was out there, and she was just, I think she knew her daughter's speech because she's reciting it. And exactly. Yes. And so to see her, I saw her today, and then I saw her at the Club of Dimes debutante tea, because she has a senior daughter at East High that's going to be a debutante. And so just to see the pride that the parents had, that just warms my heart. And then to have the East Central pride, Principal Whitaker said something about the sister school and schools across the bridge. Oh my goodness, that is already happening. And I just think we need to continue to have those moments where we are bridging those gaps across that bridge with our schools, so they can get to know one another and have that pride in what is coming. So tonight just really warmed my heart to see all those students and families. And I'm hoping that we can see some more of that as we go along with bridging that gap. I think we're doing a good thing here, Waterloo, and I'm excited about it. I'm really excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Matlock. Director Ewing.
It's been interesting growing into my 40s and learning more about labor relations and unions and negotiations and contracts and so on and so forth. Some things I didn't even think about when I was in my 20s as a teacher, and as a teacher myself, and didn't learn about it until a lot later, and a lot of interesting, fascinating history about unions and labor and negotiations. But what I do have to say about that is shame on our society and shame on our country, shame on our federal and state governments for what position they've put us in to have to be more adversarial than we would normally be. Shame on them for underfunding us. Shame on them for not giving schools, public schools, enough money to make this right. Shame on them for the voucher system. Shame on them for open enrollment. Shame on them for all of it. I wish I could pay out the money that every teacher deserves and give everyone what they need to make their classroom perfect. And I'm so sorry we don't have the resources that we want to have, and shame on our country for that.
Thank you, Director Ewing. It's hard to follow. Again, all those that came and spoke, I'll reiterate what Director Matlock said. It's not easy sitting behind this desk, not just in my seat, but to the other 6 board members as well, and to the leaders of the district, the superintendent and his team, DOT, and Pam gets a lot of phone calls and emails as well. But it's not easy sitting in this seat. And the best part is being able to see a student, hear a student, and get to learn of their positive experiences within their community, and then see the proud faces of their parents and their guardians and their grandparents and their siblings. It continues, and I've said this because I've sat up here and been challenged over these last 8 years, and I say it every time. That's the only part of this that makes, I don't want to say worthwhile, but it makes it a little bit easier. It makes it a little bit easier to make these tough decisions when you can see these youth, and you see their face, and you see them growing into leaders, and you see the staff that are pouring into them, and you see the buildings, supporting their students and their families and their communities. So that's probably till my end of this term is going to be the one thing that I hang my hat on, is being able to sit here and look out there and see the faces of those students. It warms my heart. I be holding my emotions back a little bit, but sometimes it just hits me, because I know that probably wouldn't have been me. But what if it would have been me? And how much growth I would have had early on. I'm comfortable where I am right now, but just seeing these 3rd and 4th and 5th graders and 6th graders and 8th graders, and I mean, we have some rock stars as students. We have some rock stars as staff. We have some rock star board members and DLT and everybody that make up this district, and hopefully they know that. Hopefully they know what they bring to the table, each one of them individually. Thank you for the grant that was we received today for the trees, to beautify our schools as well, and those who put forth the effort to make that happen, and bringing those students here to talk a little bit about it. The next time will be on Friday, the 13th, Professional Development Day, so there'll be no school. We do have a board work session, open meetings training and board member development on February 16th. The next time we'll be in this room will be on February 23rd at 5 p.m. And then shortly after that, we have conferences on Tuesday and Thursday, February 24th and 26th, respectively. Are there anything else that I missed? Oh, congratulations, as we let the resident wrestler say, congratulations to my little cousin, Ms. Denisha Day Watson and her family. We've seen the journey. We've seen the journey, and I remember the conversations when girls wrestling came and it wasn't sanctioned. And right about that time is when she kind of, took a back seat and found other passions. Always been a great student, always been a great person. And I am so glad that she decided her senior year to make a go at it. And I don't think there was anybody that knew her that didn't think it would end up the way it did. So I'm extremely proud of her and her family during this time. So my family, I guess I should say. So seeing nothing else from any other board members, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried, we're adjourned. Yes.